Good afternoon everyone, it's Rachel here with a little bonus video. I wanted to do this video last week, but I didn't get this book finished. This one is not quite finished. All the others are finished, so that's really an achievement for me. But anyway, I thought it would be fun just to revisit quickly what we did in Roxy's Journal of Stitchery Volume 9. So probably we forgot, see that one? Not stitched in, but I absolutely love it, so I need to finish that one. Put that over there, and we'll do them in order. My first book I was inspired by was Mandy Patullo, so I did a Mandy Patullo style fabric book with very old French fabrics, which I believe she uses a lot in her work, and so I did do that. I need to do that in all of them. I haven't done that. That was a cluster that we did in our scrap busting. I think I did that, or I published that one before Christmas or just after Christmas. I love that actually. I should do more things like that. That's really, I love how that turned out. Love all of this. And then this took forever to stitch down. It's a very fragile piece of French fabric, and I had to stitch down all, I didn't get that little bit, but all around in the holes and everything. But I loved how that turned out, and that page, and a little bit of Italian cut velvet there. And then this page, beautiful old French block printed fabrics, just rejoicing the lace and some beautiful tapestry. And then this was the last page, and that's the back. So that was the book number 1. I'll put that over there. And then book number 2 was inspired by The Flower Hunter by Lucy Hunter, and I used again some very old Italian fabrics, this here, and then this beautiful 1800s silk embroidery, and then the metal trim, and then I did some embroidery here, and just did everything inspired by flowers. That was given to me by a lovely lady in Australia, and I wanted to put that somewhere. Did some thread painting on my fabrics. I created like some flowers in a vase with a painting behind, because she had a photograph where the painting was partially going off the screen, so I thought I'd do that. Really loved doing that page. And then just more thread painting and bits and pieces of flowers, and tried to keep it a little bit rustic. And then I made some velvet flowers there. And so that was that book. Her books, her florals are very sort of textural sort of florals. Now this one was inspired by the frescoes of Palazzo Vecchio and the Uffizi. I took out I had 2 books, but I didn't pull out the Uffizi one because it's so big. And I just used some beautiful Italian soft furnishing fabrics, and then thread painted all of that. I really love that. I was unsure about it, but I really liked it. It's not put together, but I'll show you why. It will be soon. These pages are together. So being inspired by the little vignettes in the Renaissance frescoes in particular, and they had like garlands and swags coming down, and cherubs and beautiful scenes and soft colors. So that was really this sort of thing, and those. So that was my inspiration for this book. And then the center, this is what I'm still finishing, this bit here. I don't seem to be able to get myself to do it, and I'm going to stitch that on there. And that kind of reminds me of one of the framed vignettes. Probably not the right style or period of time, but you know, you do what you can. We're only interpreting. And then on this side again, I created like a little vignette, and they were quite often I noticed in the what do you call it, the cortile, in the where all the frescoes were. Well, there's also frescoes upstairs. They had lots of like family stems and that sort of thing. And here's a cherub, and there were quite a lot of birds, not like this, but birds. Grottesca di Palazzo Vecchio, that was the book. And then another framed vignette. So, and then that kind of reminds me of a garland, and that's just an old Italian fabric. So that was the 3rd book. Not quite finished, but nearly there. And then this one was inspired by dragons and pagodas, so Chinoiserie, and I loved doing this one. It took a very long time. I wasn't expecting it to take such a long time, but it really did. And I really love how it turned out, actually. I haven't looked at them for a little while, so it's very nice to revisit them. So that's a bit of Chinoiserie modern fabric. That's a French fabric with block printing, and then like a ginger jar sort of thing. I used quite a bit of my old French fabrics. This one is 1800s and it was Chinoiserie. And then that's a sort of vintage. I don't know if it's English or French or Italian, but it had like a little chinoiserie sort of scene on it, willow pattern, and I left it unfinished, which I really like. That's an old 1800s French fabric that reminded me of chinoiserie with butterflies. And I thought that was, they did often quite the tropical birds and these sorts of scenes. So I thought, I really love how that was my center spread. I love how that turned out, and really fun embroidery on the bird. And then again, that's the other side of the willow pattern. And then I just added a pop of color on there. And I think these remind me of my Chinese pajamas that I used to have with the little fellow on them. And Mum used to buy them for us in Chinatown. Sass had them as well. I think was Sarah's, I had yellow and pink ones. Sarah may have had blue and pink ones or green ones. I can't remember. Mum used to love buying them for us. I wish I kept them. I wish I still had them. I wouldn't have known to keep them. Ginger jar sort of thing. And that was kind of like a chinoiserie type fabric there. And then that's the other side of the French fabric. And then the other side of the other fabrics, and that took forever. This all took a really long time to do, and I finished off that willow pattern that wasn't embroidered, and then that's the back. And then so that's the fourth book. The fifth book was inspired by a book called Patterns of India. So I used all manner of, that's a hand-dyed Italian hemp, and then I used all manner of Italian Indian, that's sari silk border. This was an Indian block print that I embroidered. Love that. Must do more of that. And then that was a collection. Like it was all collaged bits of sari trim onto a bigger piece, and I cut it up. And this is the inside, so you get an idea. They're all different sari trims. I thought that was lovely. And then this was a block print, and then I cut one out, put sari trim and a bit of that there. So it took quite a long time to do this one as well. There was a lot of stitching involved. So more stitching on the block printing, just outlining here, cantha stitching. I experimented with, I did that. I just drew that myself. And that kind of reminded me of Indian. That doesn't. But that was an old Indian trim that I had. So I was happy to find a home for that. I have a little bit more. And then the block printing, I collaged all the block prints underneath in the background, and then just experimented with different types of embroidery on the block printing. I did some there, and then here I did a finer cantha stitch, whereas here I did a broader, more bolder cantha stitch inspired by a pouch that I have, and that's the back with a paisley, and then that's the back of the book. And then the last book was inspired by one of my faves, Rachel Ashwell and Shabby Chic. So I did my best to interpret it. I'm going to stamp that there. I did end up canthering this while we were away last weekend. There's a few bits I need to just stitch down so they don't flop up. I finished that. I've got to stitch that down there. And I did end up embroidering this here. You haven't seen this, I don't think. So let me just zoom in a tiny bit so you can see. I embroidered just a little bit. I'm really happy with that. And I used wools to do that, different wools. So contrast to this where I used more stranded cottons and perlé, variegated perlé threads. And then I did outline that with a mustard. And I still need to stitch that down. Finish this off. I ended up embroidering that. I love that. It created a little bit of texture. I did consider doing that down there as well. I probably should have, but anyway, I decided not to. It was taking me too long. So I did embroider that with some of the Eco Vita DMC wool thread. I did all of this when we were away last weekend because it was very hot, so we had some downtime, and I'd go back to our little sort of like a mini apartment, and it was very lovely, and there was that gorgeous view. I shared me doing this on Instagram, and so it was just not lovely to sit there. I decided just to leave that as it was and just rejoice the fabric sometimes, and I left that as well, and I did a little bit of stitching there, but that's all. And then that's the end of that book. So I got it done. I didn't think so. There was a lot of work still to do, but I did get it done. So these, let me zoom back out again just a sec. So these are all of my 6 books that we've done. It was such a fun project. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for joining us. For those who did, thank you for watching. Those who just enjoyed having a look and seeing what everyone was doing, that's also important. And really thrilled with that, and I'm going to have fond memories looking at those, and I'll probably end up making some more books when I have time as well. So, and people have said, oh, what are you going to do with those? They are like a coffee table book. They're just there to look at and remember and enjoy, and the sheer joy. Just let's not forget the sheer joy of making something like that, the pleasure in making something like that, the enjoyment you get out of it. And then finding a home and repurposing some of these textiles that are vintage, or they're just a sampler, like that was a sample piece, and they might be turfed, and that's come off something, and they don't have a home anymore. These have even got holes, which I love, and they've now got a new home, and for an amount of time they will survive. Now this is the only one. This one here I'm going to restitch in the pages. I'm going to take that out, and I did invisible stitch, and I think I shared how to do that in one of the videos. I can't remember which, but I'm going to do that one with invisible stitch. So thank you so much for joining us on that journey. Tomorrow will be my continuation of my brooch, which is a hot mess at the moment, so I better get thinking about that. And I've also just watched the wonderful Dawn Meldrums and Corinne, To Be Loved Treasures by Corinne, with their Treasures of Curiosities of Treasure, Treasures of Curiosity. I've already forgotten, girls. My mind is racing. Anyway, their new 6-week project. My mind is going bonkers. I'm trying to think, do I have time to participate? Because I would love to. It's going to be thrilling. So I'm having a think about that, and I will keep you posted as to whether or not I do decide to participate. So thank you so much. I will be back again tomorrow. I just wanted to show you the textile books, or the textile journals inspired by books. Mine are almost complete, just a tiny bit to do there, and I am done and dusted with them, and rebind that one. And they've got a spot on my shelf over here, so I'll take a photograph of that and attach it at the end of the video. So I hope you have a wonderful Saturday, and happy stitching and journal making, and I will see you again soon. Hi guys, I'm back. I thought I'd share a photograph, but this instead, I'm going to show you where I'm housing my journals. They fit perfectly along there. I have this beautiful bag that someone made with old things, my little incomplete snippets there, and I think that's where they're going to live. I'll just pan out. It's just this old bookshelf. There's my pocket treasures up there. I have my field notes up in that box that we did in our useful things, and my little dilly bag that we did in the useful things. There's my little wall of curiosities. It's still growing. I've still got space for things. That was made by the wonderful Donny Folk. I love her. Do you follow her on Instagram? She's amazing. There's my beautiful bag that Corinne made. Oh my gosh, look at these 1800s tassels. I just got those probably in April, and I just love them. They just hang there. And then, oh, and I got, look at those little silk threads there. I can't take them out of the box. They're just staying there. And so, yeah, and then there's just all things that are incomplete, and down here are my pouches and things. Some have been gifted to me, some from Mum, maybe 1 or 2 I made, and so I just keep those there. And then I have some incomplete things here, and these are all my textile books here, gifts from Pemmicans. They're my vessels. So that's what my shelf is looking like at the moment. But there are my books, and they are pride in place, and I think it's very fitting that they live in here on this bookshelf. So there we go, guys. That's it. It's done, and on to the next thing. Bye.